Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a puzzle by Kothornos, whose debut I think it is on the channel. Kothornos. There's a word in my dictionary, I think, called Kothornos. And it's something that an actor would wear in classical Greece. The word buskin is in my head. Is that a boot or something that a classical actor would wear? I don't know. Maybe Kothornos has nothing to do with that. But maybe they do. The puzzle is called La Prime Avera. So it's a pun on springtime, which is brilliant. And primes. So we'll do the rules in a moment. Very interesting looking puzzle. Do check out our Patreon, where on the 1st of every month we bring you a new Sudoku hunt, and you get till the 20th to enter a competition solving it. And of course it's there after that if you just want to enjoy a brilliant Sudoku hunt, which is always a good form of Sudoku to solve. And also, of course, all of our apps exist and are fantastic resources. Just check them out. Very cheap, in my opinion, and good value. And you will be able to practice your Sudoku skills till you are far better than I am. And what else have we got? We've got Sven's Sudoku pad and our merch, and that's all good stuff as well. So let's go through the rules of this puzzle. Got nothing else to say except that. So normal Sudoku rules apply. We'll be putting 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box, like we try and do most days. Along the indicated diagonal, digits don't repeat. Black dots indicate that cells are in a 2-to-1 ratio. Numbers outside the grid indicate the sum of the cells in the direction of the arrow. Digits can repeat on those in those sums. In cages, the number in the top left denotes the sum of the cells in that cage, and digits can't repeat in a cage. So everything is normal so far. A given cage can only contain prime numbers, or it can only contain non-prime numbers. For instance, a single cage can contain 2, 3, and 7, since they're all prime, but it cannot contain 1, 2, 3, and 7, because 1 is not prime, but 2, 3, and 7 are prime. So the cages are either fully prime or fully non-prime, and that's it. That's the only special rule. Give it a try. Don't know how this is going to work. I did a puzzle recently which had primes versus non-primes in it, but this is a bit different, and let's see how it goes. I'm going to restart I'm just going to check that my microphone is working and we are running. It all looks good. Okay, so let's restart the puzzle and let's get cracking. So right, there are 4 primes and there are 5 non-primes. 2, 3, 5, and 7 are prime. 1, I mean, it's been specified in the rules that 1 is not prime in case you had any doubt, but it's not mathematically. So the primes add up to 17 and the non-primes add up to 28. And I'm able to do that quite quickly because I know a magic secret that you need to have shared with you, which is that every row, column, and box of a Sudoku adds up to the same number. We know what the number is. It's 45. So if the primes add up to 17, the non-primes add up to 28. Now, this cage could contain the 4 primes, or it could contain 4 non-primes. But it couldn't do the latter, because if you put 4 of the non-primes into this, which one would you be leaving out? It would have to be the difference between 28 and 17, which would be 11, which is not only a prime, but not a Sudoku digit. So this must be the primes, 2, 3, 5, and 7. And we have another 17 cage there, and the same principle must apply. Now, this is a 4-cell cage, and it doesn't add up to 17. Therefore, it's not the 4 primes. Obviously, the digits all have to be different in each of these cages because they're contained within a box. Now this one therefore contains 4 of the 5 digits 1, 4, 6, 8, 9, which we know add up to 28. We subtract 24 from 28 to find out which digit to deduct, and it's 4, and so this contains 1, 6, 8, 9. Now 14 in 3 cells, there's a lot of 14 cages in 3 cells. That can be made up out of 3 of these digits. 17 minus 3 means 2, 5 and 7 add up to 14. And out of 1, 4, 6, 8, 9, which add up to 28, you'd have to deduct a pair that added up to 14, which is 6 and 8. So a 14 cage in 3 cells is either 149 or 257. And there's a lot of those around. Well, this one is 149 because we've used 2, 3, 5 and 7. This one can't be 149 now because you would have too many 149s in the first column. So this is a primes one, 2, 5, 7. This must be a 6, 8 pair, not only because that is the only pair that is adding up to 14 that is either both prime or both non-prime, but also because we've used the 5 in the box. Now, does that tell me which of these, if this was 149, that would be a double X-wing on 149 that's sitting there as well. And these digits would have to be 1, 4 and 9. They would be the only places for 1, 4 and 9 to go in row 3. Okay, I don't know. And I think this could be, as pressured as it would be, this could be 2, 5, 7. That could be a quadruple. What about 11 then in 3 cells? Right, if you tried to do that in primes, you'd have to subtract 6 from 17 to leave 3. Well, 6 isn't one of the options. So this is made up of non-primes. I've just realized I should be coloring the grid. So let's make primes purple. P is for prime, P is for purple. Non-primes, of which there will be 5, I'm going to make yellow for contrast. Right, and there are 4 purples in each box. 4 purples in each column. So that one's a 3. There's our first digit. Didn't realize I could do a digit in that way, but there we go. So there's no 3 in those cells. Oh, these 4 are all purple. We need 4 purples in every row. Okay, this is more a colouring puzzle than a prime calculation. Now I was going to look at this 11 cage and I worked out it can't be 3 primes. So it must be 3 non-primes. It must be 1, 4, 6 because they're the minimum 3 non-primes. And they're all yellow, of course, as Chris Martin would tell us. So, can we colour any more? We need 5 yellows or 4 purples to make up a full set. Oh, we've got the diagonal as well. That's going to have 4 purples and 5 yellows on it, too. Haven't thought about the 29 and the 40 diagonals or the black dots. Right, this is 2 or 3 on the black dot, and this is 1 or 4 or 6, all of which are yellow digits. So that's yellow. 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8. There is only one pair that could have the same colour on both sides of a black dot, and that is a 4, 8 double yellow. Oh, that's a 6, 8 pair in box 1. Okay, come on. I must be missing something here. We've got 2 purples there. Can that be 149? Because that was what was going to happen if that was a 149 cage. If that was 149, this would be 6, that would be 8. I think it works all right. I don't see why that's impossible. Okay. There is a 3 in one of those cells. So there's a 3 in one of these. There's 1 3 here somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There must be something else I can work out. Oh, well, these are 1 4 6 8 9. I mean, I could just go mad pencil marking. Yes, I could. This is 1 3 4 9. Is there any possibility of this yielding something that I'm not seeing another way? Well, there's a 6 8 pair. These, I don't know. I feel like there is something going on here that I'm not picking up on. That's 1 4. Maybe it's this black dot. What am I not getting about that black dot? Which could be 2 yellows or a purple and a yellow. Or maybe the 29 count. At the maximum. I don't think this is helpful. Okay, the 14 cages. These are all either triple yellow or triple purple. Sorry, I'm not getting this. Maybe they can't both be yellow for some reason. I don't think the 40 diagonal is the way to go. One, 2, 3, 4. That's not enough. 1 2 3. There's only one more purple to go in here. And there's 2 more to go here. Oh, hang on. One of those at least has to be purple, and that will be the 4th purple in its column. For the box, one of these at least has to be purple. So there is only therefore one of them that is purple. This one is also purple. And one of these is the last purple in its column. Therefore, it's also the last purple in its box and is indeed a 3. So we're limiting 3s a bit. Now, these 2 from 149 are both yellow. This is not 6 or 8. If it's yellow, it's from 149. And if it's purple, it's from 2. It can't be purple. We've got all 4 purples in this row. Ah, so that's yellow, and it's not 6 or 8. Oh, and it's also not 1, 6, 8 or 9. It's a 4. And this one's purple, and that's the last. No, we have 1 purple, 1 yellow to go here. Okay. Okay, what's going on next? That makes this quite likely to be a 4. It takes 4 off the diagonal. So that's a 1 or a 6. We've now got 4 purples on the 4 yellows, I mean, on the diagonal. This isn't working how I expected. Those don't include a 4. That's now a 1 9 pair. This is a 3 4 pair, definitely. That's not a 4. These are from 2 5 7. Right. Now, what else can we do? Has this shed any light on these being yellow 1 1 4 9s or purple 2 5 7s? I think the answer is no. Although, wow, it's close actually. If you made this purple, that would count all the purples into column 8. And this would have to be yellow. And then that would be all the yellows on the diagonal, and these would all now be purple. And that would be all the purples in row 5. Because one of this domino is purple, that would be all the purples in row 4 as well. It would be very constraining. And I would have effects elsewhere. I can't quite see enough to determine it one way or the other, but something's happening there. That's not 4 by Sudoku. Now, this 1-9 pair, is that... I don't see how that's doing anything. We're going to have to get something onto the diagonals. I'm going to have to do something with these 14 cages. So it's very constrained, but not impossible if this was purple. What if it was yellow? That would be great to rule that out somehow. If it's yellow, it has to be 1, 4, 9. That would have to be a 6. That would be a 1. And that would be a 4. And therefore there is a 4 in one of these two cells, and these can't both be yellow. Right, so one of them is fully purple. And whichever one is fully purple is pointing 4 purples at that cell. If that's fully purple, we've got 4 purples there, and that's yellow. If that's fully purple, we've got 4 purples there, and that's yellow. So that is yellow. That's the 5th yellow on the diagonal. Everything else on the diagonal is purple. That's so weird. That's very clever setup, by the way. Now, the 4th purple could still go on this black dot in box 5. Now, one of these is purple because of the 4s in this box. It's a very good setup. I'm loving this actually. Now I've understood a bit about how the setup works. Great work, Kathornos. Just wondering about the maximum down here. No, 975. There's nothing going on the 40 diagonal. The 29 diagonal. The maximum for those two is a 6-4 pair. That's 10. Then these others have to add up to 19. I don't see that being useful. I'm sorry. I just don't. This diagonal then, does that have to be 8 or 9? I don't think that's the case. But one of these, oh no, I worked out that at least one of them's purple. I haven't worked out that they can't both be purple. That would be interesting and very helpful. If they were both purple, all of these cells would be yellow, and that would be 6 yellow cells in box 3, and that's too many. So one of these is purple and one is yellow. So weird. That would allow a 7 and a 9 in those, which is just not interesting. Okay, let's have a quick look at this. If this has a purple cell on it, and it doesn't have to because it could be a 4-8 pair, but if it has a purple cell on it, that purple cell is this digit. Yeah, I don't know. These are one of each, obviously. So if that was double purple, oh sorry, if this was the purple L, then we'd have all the purples in column 5. If that's the purple L, we have all the purples in row 5. So either that's a pair of yellows or that's a pair of yellows, maybe both. Still left puzzling which is which. I suppose I know this digit can't be a 4. That's not very interesting, is it? The 14 cage that is yellow is going to be a 149. Oh, I see. The 14 cage that is yellow is going to be a 149 triple. And that's going to need a 6 in the 11 cage. So one of those is a 6. So that is now a 1. And now we don't have 1 anymore on the diagonal. This is 6, 8, or 9. So in one case we've used 1, 4, 9, 6. And in the other case we've used 2, 5, 7, 4. What of it? Don't know. That can't be a 1. We've got this 4, 6 pair. They're not looking at anything in particular. If this was a 6, 3 pair, that couldn't be a 6. That would be a 4. That would require this to be the 2, 5, 7 cage. That would end up putting a 3 down here, which is very interesting. Feels almost powerful, but not quite enough. This cell. I don't know. I think this black dot pair can still be anything. That's quite annoying. Oh, maybe it can't be the same as this one. If it was, those 2 digits would... I don't see that being ruled out yet. Not quite doing the deep dive on that maybe I should, but I can't see it. So let's go back to the fact that one of these L's is 2, 5, 7, and that's going to go with a 4. So the other one can be 1, 4, 9 going with a 6. Now if you made it one for all of those yellow, there's only one yellow in those cells, so both of these become yellow. So if we have all of this as yellow, then these are all going to be yellow. I don't know. Say this was purple. This is 2, 5, 7, and that's a 4. Where does 6 and 8 then go in the box? They must go there and there. This would have to be a 1, 3, 9 triple. Making this 2 or 4 by Sudoku. And that still doesn't reveal enough about this black dot. Doesn't even definitely put 4 on it. Well, okay, I think this is a powerful case. If that was 2, 5, 7, it goes with a 4 in the box, because on the other side we have 1, 4, 9 going with the 6. Yeah, so let's think about that. 2, 5, 7, 4 there, and then you'd have to have 6 and 8 in these cells. And this would be 1, 3, 9. 1, 3, 9, 6, 8. There'd be a 4 in one of these 2 cells. And I don't know, you would have forced that to be a 6. It keeps 6 off the black dot. No, I can't see that that breaks down. So we'll think about it the other way. 2, 5, 7 and a 4 here. But the trouble is then I don't have 6, 8 constrained. But this is a version I haven't really thought much about. 2, 5, 7 there means that all of these are the purples in column 5, and everything else is then yellow in column 5. There just seem to be too many options. Okay, maybe the diagonal. What's going on the diagonal? We've had 1 on it. I don't know. I don't see how this is going to help. 6, 8, 9 are a triple in those cells. That's not going to do anything all at once. No, that's not what to think about. The 29 diagonal again. We've now definitely got 10 on it there. I don't think I've ever actually quite assimilated that. So these others are 19. And 1 is purple and 1 is yellow in the cages. Now I'd been thinking about the max, which are 7 and 9. What are the 2 cages? 2, 5, 7 and 1, 4, 9. I don't know. I don't know how to get at that. So in one case here, we have a double purple in one of those dominoes, completing its row or column of purplage. And then in the other case, we have double yellow, requiring 2 more purples in its row or column. I don't know what that does. That is the frustrating thing. Especially in the place where we have a purple cage. I can't see how we're going to have trouble filling that box or any of its rows or columns. So I need to do something cleverer. I've only got 2 digits in this puzzle and I feel like that's letting me down a bit. Right, whatever digit this is in one of those 2 cells and one of those 2 cells and one of those 2 cells and one of those 3. Is that of any interest? No, not to me either. Oh, 4 is in one of these cells, so it's not there. That's not all that thrilling, I have to admit. 6 is an 8. That digit is the same as that one. And therefore one of these is 6 and 8, and one of these is the other. I don't see where that's going. Okay, if that's a 4, this either has to be a 1-2 pair or a 3-6 pair, and must use a purple cell. So if that's a 4, these are purple, that's 3 purple. We've already got 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to get the 8th purple on the black dot. Ah, but we need a purple down here. That's not going to work. One of these 2 has to be purple to fill the cage. Right. Columns 5 and 6. If we were to put purple there, that's 3 purples. And also, because that's yellow, that's 1, 4, 9, that's 6, that's 4. Yeah, this is what's going on. So we've got 3 purples there, 1, 2 there is 5, 1, 2 there is 7, and 1 in this domino is 8. That's all the purples. But 4 there forces this black dot to either be 1, 2, which involves a purple, or 3, 6, which involves a purple, and we're not allowed another purple. So this is not purple. We've done it. That's yellow. This is purple. Now we have finished row 5 purples, and that digit is a 4. This one, which is purple, is a 3. Now, this had better help, and it had better help quickly because it's been quite a struggle. This column, everything else is yellow. This is not a 3. I don't think any of this is going to come simply. Ah, yes, this is 257. This is 149. That's the important thing. This is now a 149 triple, all yellow. That's a 6, and that's a big deal. 8, 6, 8, 6. You see, we've at least doubled the number of digits in the grid. Also, this is now not a 6-3 pair. Therefore, it's from the family of 1, 2, 4, 8. Oh, I was going to say, but we know there's not a 2 in it. We don't know that anymore. Never mind. We've got 2 purples to put in row 3 and 3 to put in row 1. That completes the purples in box 2. So that's yellow and is the number 8. That's the number 8 in box 1. This is a 6 apparently because we've got a 4-9 pair. Those are both purple. This is all coming together. We make that yellow on the count. Yeah, I feel like we've got something going. That 6 makes this an 8-9 pair on the diagonal. That makes this a 6-1 pair, which are actually resolved. That 1 gives us a 9 at the top of the grid. And a 1-4 pair up there. Now, are we going to start to get... This cage needs a 4, doesn't it? We've known that was coming. One of these two is a 4. And there's a 4 up there. So that is a 4. That is the only place for 4 in column 4. So that's a 2 at the bottom. And that takes 2 out of a couple of cells. Let's just go calmly amid the noise and haste. That can be a 4 if that's an 8. Six, 4. What have we got? That's not a 6. None of these are 1s. So there's definitely a 1 in one of those 2 cells. And that means the 1 in column 8 is definitely here. This has to be a 9. 4 is in one of those cells, isn't it? Yeah. That's a 9. This is 6 or 8. This is purple because it sees 4, 1, 4, 6, 8, and 9. That's a 3. This is yellow. That's not a 3. 3 is now the only place for 3 on the diagonals in the center. So that's a 3. That's a 3. And one of those two is a 3. And one of those two is a 3. One of those two being a 3 makes us know where 3 is in box 9. Good. This we must be able to count the column. It's yellow. This we must be able to count the row now. It's yellow. Now this is a domino and this is a domino. Okay, I don't know quite how these are going to resolve yet, but they've got a black dot, so how hard can it be? Don't say things like that, man. Right, we're going to use the diagonals at some point soon, surely. Don't call me Shirley. Now this diagonal has to have a 2 in one of those cells, so that can't be 2. It also can't be 3 by Sudoku. Okay, the 29 diagonal is surely the one that is going to come first. So this digit is 3, 5, or 7. So let's try minima. 3, 4, 10, 14, 16, 19. Maxima 7, 16, 22, 26, 33, 36. They're wide ranging. So from 36, the maximum, we have to remove 7. So out of the maxima in these 3 cells, we have to remove 7. From this one, we could either remove 5 or 8, or we're not allowed to remove 8, so that's not a 1. Here we're going to either, oh look, have I filled in the wrong digits? No, that I haven't. These are the right ones. So from these, we could remove 2 from both and 5 from that one, and we've hit the jackpot. No, not 2 from both and 5 from that one. We're trying to remove 7. So 2 from one of them and 5 from that one. If we... No, we could remove 7 by removing... Can we leave that as a 9? That's what I'm wondering now. I don't think we can. If we left that as a 9, we've got 22, and we would need 7 between these two cells. Oh yeah, 5 and 2. Oh, goodness. So I can't resolve this yet. But I know there's a 2 in one of these cells by Sudoku somehow. So there's no 2 there. So one of these is a 2. And one of these two is a 2. I didn't expect this to get this complicated at this point. Especially when we were moving along quite nicely at various points earlier in the puzzle. That can't be a 9. This is a 6-8 pair. That can't be 6 or 8. So we've got a 4-9 pair. This one is 6 or 8 as well in the box. And whatever it is the same as that digit. Right, let's think about this this black dot. Maybe that's simpler. It can't be 3, 6. And it could be 1, 2, which would be that way round. If it was 2, 4, again the 2, 4 is impossible because this one is the only one that can be purple, but it could be 4, 8. So that would be that way round. So these are the possible sightings. The trouble is, if it's a 2 there, that's a 4. If that is a 4, this is a purple digit. Same one as in the top corner. Oh, come on, I have to go back to this. Where we're taking 7 off the maximum values here, which is either making them 5, 9, 7, 5, 4, 7, 7, 4, 5, or 3, I can't work it out, 5, 9, 2. Oh, okay, there was one possibility that wasn't there. So I've got to do it on these. We're taking 7 off the maximum values here. Just rechecking the maths, that's right. Okay, so that either is taking 5 off that one, making it a 4, and 2 off one of those, so that would be a 5, 7 pair. Or it's leaving that one as a 9, and then this becomes a 5, 2 pair, which has to be 5 there, 2 here. So this can't be a 3 in any circumstance. We'd have taken 4 off that, and we can't take 3 off either of the others. So this is never a 3. There we go. So that's a 5, 7 pair at the top, and that's a 2. And now this isn't a 2 on the diagonal. That's not a 2 either. We need a 2 in one of these two cells because it has to be there somewhere. And we need a 4 in one of them as well. So that is now a 2, 4 pair. I feel like that ought to do such stuff, but it hasn't actually resolved the black dot. That's not a 2. I nearly said it hasn't resolved the black death. I can fill in 2 and 3 there. We've got 3 now in box 1 and in box 3. And that's a 5, 7 pair. So I've placed 2 in box 1. And that's not a 2. I've placed 2 in box 7. One of those is a 2, so I've placed 2 in box 9. Oh, I've got a 2 sitting there now, so that's sorted out 4 and 2. That is going to do all my colouring, and that's going to let me finish off the puzzle. 2 on the black dot gives a 1 there. So now I know where 1 goes in that box. That's become a 9R, and therefore we're not taking that. We're taking 7 off those. They become a 5 and a 2. There we go. And that diagonal is correct. I'm a bit surprised we're going to need to calculate the other diagonal, the 41, but we'll see now. Obviously we are, or the clue wouldn't be there, frankly. So we'll see how that has to happen, but let's just do as much Sudoku as we can get away with first, because there's quite a bit available now. 5, 7 there. This is not 1 or 9. Those aren't a 1, which is even more important. We get 6 and 8 done over there. This is a 6. I can actually do the primes there as well. That's not a 6. That's not a 6. This is 5, 6, 7. So the primes are 5, 7. The non-prime is a 6. That does, I mean, surely all our primes are done now. They are, if I remember to go back to box 3. Yeah, they're all done. Those are done. That's the central 3 columns. And the top 3, apart from 1 pair, this 9 and 8 must be resolved. That must look across the box. 8, we've got a 1, 9 pair here. And that does sort out 4 and 9 there. Now, this is a known digit, 1. You see, I don't think I've had to add up the 40 diagonal. And just before I enter the last digit, which is going to be an 8, I will do that. 4, 6, 13, 22, 25, 27, 29, 32, 40. So it's confirmatory, and but it's not necessarily helpful for me. But there we go. There is the solution to the puzzle. And La Primavera is fulfilled. Very clever from Cthornos. Very interesting puzzle, and a little deeper than I was expecting when we began. Very nice. Well done. Thank you for watching, and well done if you finished that nice and quickly. I was certainly struggling with this diagonal and getting that off it. Maybe there was something cleaner and quicker you could do with the longer diagonal, which would be a bit surprising, but it's quite possible. Let us know in the comments. Thanks as always for watching, and bye for now.